Hey guys, so I got a new toy. Today is Tuesday, the 27th. I got this Sunday. It is a 1950s wheel horse, I believe. I think it's somewhere in the 1950s or early 60s. If you know, just tell me. But yeah, picked this little monster machine up for $250. Good deal in my book. And yeah, engine runs, steering's great. So everything's greased up. The guy I got it from, I guess he fixed it all up, like new paint. And the hood's not the right hood for this one because it has the vents. And this is where a gas cap would have went for the ones where the engine would be mounted under there. But the earlier ones, the engine went there, and that's where the steering and everything went. So yeah, pretty cool. I guess he said that he got the seat off eBay for $80. I think it's at least 100 years old, because look how thick it is. If you can see that on camera, that's cast iron, and they don't make cast iron this beefy nowadays. Very strong. And we got a little tool thing back here where I keep my tools. Then we got the spring. We got about 2.5 feet tall tires, wheels and tires, and they're pretty good condition. Just cracked, but down the road, you know, could always replace them. But I think they're not cheap to replace, but they'll last a long time for what kind of tires they are. So they got those thick knobs on it. I got the guy said that these are brand new, and you can tell because still got these little things from the mold or whatever it was. You know, when they mold the rubber or however they make it, still got them. So yeah, it's got a thing down here. That thing, there's a linkage supposed to hook up to this. See, when you're sitting on it, you can move it because you're not pulling on it. And it can drop like a tiller sort of thing. It doesn't have PTO, but like something to dig up the earth with. And I'm going to be putting a plow on this, on the front of it, because this thing's a beast when it comes to romping and everything. I've been romping in ditches full of water. There's been water up to about halfway on the tire, maybe a little less, but very impressed. It has a 3-speed transmission. It's got reverse. Here's neutral. Then it's got first gear, second gear, third gear. I just found out that there's 2 more gears. I thought there was only 1 gear the whole time. I thought it was forward, neutral, backward. But then when I tried to go in reverse, I must have went up here and started going forward, and then I started experimenting to see where all the gears were, and I'll see if there was any other ones, and discovered those. And first gear goes about 5 miles per hour. Second gear is about 10, maybe a little less actually, probably 8. And then fifth is about 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. Not for sure, I'm just estimating. And the hood's a little bent in, but nothing a rubber mallet can't help. $250 for a tractor. That runs, that's a collectible. Can't beat it. So things I'm going to be doing to this tractor is going to be removing this exhaust and then running it under here and out of this hole and I'm gonna be having it a stack with a flapper cap or a ring cap. And the brakes or clutch or whatever isn't hooked up yet, but I think I'm gonna look up, try to find a real horse that see how it's hooked up. What I'm probably gonna be doing is maybe like making it a handbrake, like it's just like a lever, like maybe like somehow like take this out and replace it with a bolt, if that's possible. I don't know, but somehow making it a brake. I really would like to try to run a rod from back there down the frame somehow to go on that pedal, but I'll do what I can do, you know. But you can see the hood can flip up. It's got some bolts that will let it. And here's the throttle. This is low, and this is high. The engine needs a little tuning at right here, the little needle set screw thing, because it bugs down when you go too fast. So that's not a hard fix to fix. And yeah, the guy gave me the original engine. I'm actually thinking this is a 1956 wheel horse, not original. The frame is with the gearbox or transmission and everything else besides the hood and the seat. I think everything else is original. I know that's original with it because the guy said it was, and that's a 1956. So I'm guessing it's a 1956 body and everything else besides those few things I mentioned. But since I'm not going to be using this for digging up earth, mostly plowing, I'm going to just be making a bracket that goes in these holes and then hook it up to this thing with maybe just take this thing off and then just put a like threaded rod or a bent piece of threaded rod with a like 90-degree angle, and then when you pull it, it'll like go up over this, it'll bring the plow up, and then you can push it down. But it will be trial and error. The pull start works, but it sticks sometimes. Everything is really good greased on this. All these are, you can see. And these are, he said he filled up the transfer case, or transmission case with oil. Transmission runs really smooth. You don't have to slam it or anything. And steering is, I think I already said this, but it is smooth. You can see that there's zert nuts everywhere. You can tell there's grease on it. But he put zert nuts, or I think that's what they're called, zert nuts, or grease fittings, nipples, or whatever, right there. And they're everywhere. And there's even one on the tensioner right there, which that's surprising. I think those are aftermarket build, but they might not be. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm kind of rambling on, but let's start it up real quick.